Hey guys, Majeffries here, and welcome to episode 146 of You Don't Want Anything with Kids. We have a lot of things to catch up on. Let's start with the results. Last time you saw us, we played Crawley in the league. We drew 2-2. Disappointing, but what can you do? Since then, we beat Lincoln 3-1 with goals from Johnston, Marshall and Francois. We then beat West Ham 4-2 in the FA Cup. You remember last season we lost to them in the League Cup, so to beat them this time round was a fantastic achievement. A hat-trick from Morgan and a goal from Johnston. Morgan's hat-trick was very, very good. We were unlucky to concede twice as well, actually, because we just completely outplayed West Ham that day. Really, just, I don't know how to describe it. We just blitzed them. They didn't stand a chance. We followed that up with a 1-0 win against Port Vale with a goal from Pugliese, and then another 1-0 win against Swindon with a goal from Beckhold, before finally beating Yeovil 4-2 with 2 goals from Wilson, 1 from Morgan and 1 from Carino, and an own goal from Pugliese as well, but we'll gloss over that because we don't like own goals in our team. FA Cup, we drew Newcastle in the next round, and that's at St James's Park as well. And you know, some of you might know this, some of you might not. I am a Stevenage fan, but I'm also a Newcastle fan. And to me, St James's Park is the best stadium in the country by far. And I know that's biased, and some of you out there probably don't agree with me, but the atmosphere is incredible. Even when they lose, the atmosphere in St James's is just, it's so noisy in there, you can't hear yourself think half the time. It's just fantastic as a football fan to witness. Before then, though, we've got Northampton in the Johnston's Paint Trophy, and that is the match we have got for you today. So, let's get straight into picking lineups. We'll go for our best 11 again and see who's injured. Well, Beckhold's injured, so he's out. Cartwright is fatigued. And actually, one more thing I wanted to show you guys is David Stevens. Loyal servant for us. He's been with us virtually from the start. Cost us a fair amount of money, £250,000 I believe he cost us. But like I said, good servant, very good player. He has been sold. There's no other way of saying it. He has gone to, I think it was Derby, for £500,000 I believe they paid, which is double what we paid for him. So profit wise, we've done okay there. I didn't particularly want to see him go, but he wasn't first choice. He was starting to get a bit moany in that he wasn't really playing for us that often. So, you know, the executive decision was taken as maybe he'd be better off elsewhere. So I offered him for loan, and nobody took it. Then a transfer bid came in for him. I negotiated it, and before I knew it, he was gone. So it is sad that he's gone, because like I said, he was a very, very good player for us. But we've profited from it, and he will now get first team football. So I can't really complain about that, can I? Alright, we have got another player to introduce you to, actually. You could kind of call this David Stevens' replacement, and I can't remember if he's featured in this before, but Matt Doherty. We signed him for £52,000 from Aberdeen. Technically we had him on a pre-contract to join in the summer, but with Stevens leaving I decided to buy him early. So we got him £52,000. Good player, got good stats, good star report. He's already good enough for the Premier League, which is fantastic, because it means that, you know, we've got a ready-made Premier League defender in our team. And he's going to start there. For those of you who haven't seen the lineup, I'll just go through it very quickly. Quintana, Villa, Doherty, Howlett, Mundle, Jones, Mantum, McConnor, Thompson, Lopez making his debut, Morgan and Wilson. And then on the bench we've got O'Brien, Webster, Pugliese, Delamond and Campbell. We'll give Lopez his squad number. We're not going to give him the number 6. We'll give him the number 38. Alex Ben, he's the other player. Might remember him. He's our, or was our, reserve goalkeeper after King, Quintana and O'Brien. He has gone to Chesterfield, I think it was, for £80,000. So again, we made a profit, because I'm pretty sure we signed him for less than that. Well, they're thinking about maybe we signed him for more than that. Whatever. But main thing is, he's gone. He's going to get first team football elsewhere. Again, both parties win in this situation, because he gets first team football and we get a little bit of money and get him off the wage bill. So It's a win-win for everybody involved. Right, let's see how well we do in this match. We scored a lot of goals from distance in the matches between this episode and the last one. It'll be interesting to see if we can replicate that going forward. The new attacking tactic that I've set up seems to be working. We're getting a lot more shots in and a lot more shots on target. So the players are definitely starting to enjoy themselves out there a little bit more. Morale seems to be at a high, which is fantastic. And the performances are coming along with it, and the wins are there. We've got a nice unbeaten run going again, which is fantastic as well. And I know I use the word fantastic a lot, but how else can you describe something as good as this? It is just fantastically brilliant. And yeah, like, you know, hopefully we can keep this run going through this semi-final, get into the final. In fact, well, technically this is a final, but it counts to me as a semi-final because the next step is a trip to Wembley for the actual final against whoever wins the North final. And I probably should have been keeping tabs on who was in that North final, but I didn't, so I actually have no idea who we could possibly be facing, but I'm really hoping it's not Sheffield United again, although it would give us the opportunity for revenge, so maybe it's not such a bad thing. In the meantime though, we do have to beat Northampton, so let's not run before we can walk. And at the moment it is 0-0. We've had 4 shots, none on target, but all it takes is a stroke of genius. Not the best corner there from Villa. Headed back forward by Doherty. I keep going to say Doherty. I'm too used to supporting him at Stevenage this season. Headed forward by Doherty and palmed wide by the keeper. And that's Marcus Lopez with the shot, which is blocked. Comes out to McConnor. He goes down, but no foul. Cleared forward, but only as far as Jones, who can start another attack. And he decides to pass it sideways to Howlett Mundle, and that's the end of that bit. So no idea what happened there, but we've got another corner. Villa plays it short to McConnor, back to Villa, back to McConnor, back to Villa. Finally the cross comes in, and Morgan heads it wide. He either lost his bearings or that was all he could do, because it took so bloody long for the cross to come in. By the time it did, he had nothing he could do really. Northampton. Team in real life, they just about escaped relegation, I believe, this season just gone. I wouldn't say by the skin of their teeth, but they were definitely in contention of relegation still in the last couple of weeks of the season, which is strange because the season before they were in the playoff final in League 2. And then this season it just seems to be a spectacular loss of form, and I've no idea what happened there. It's a team that I have a personal affection for, Northampton, because I had FIFA 04. I think I've said this in other videos before. But I used to have FIFA 04, and Northampton were the team I played as on there. And I had a lot of good times. I've won virtually every trophy with them. And it's a team that I've always sort of kept track of out the corner of my eye over the years. I've seen Stevenage play them a few times. Never seen Newcastle play them, I don't think. But I wouldn't be surprised about that one, actually. I've been to their ground as well. They've got a lovely stadium at Sixfields. And yeah, they just seem to be a really good club. So it's a shame to see them where they are. I'd like them to get promoted again back to League One. And sort of, even if they become a mid-table League One side, it'll still be a lot better than where they are at the moment. So if there's any Northampton fans out there who are watching this, then I really do hope that they turn things around and get back to where I feel they belong. As I'm sure you guys do as well. But I will make one exception, because in this match I want to win and I want to beat them, and I want to score as many goals as possible, because in this game they are the enemy. Just for this match and the second leg obviously, but apart from that I'm quite happy to see them do well. That is their first shot in anger, and it's their first shot on target as well. And now they got a corner from it, because Quintana seems to turn into Butterfingers at the moment. He's dropping quite a lot of easy catches. And in fact, the free kick that Crawley scored against him, Mark Noble, that was, I still think that's the worst I've seen him. I think he could have kept that one out, and he didn't, which is disappointing, because you do expect better from a keeper as good as Quintana. You look at some of the big teams in Europe that have been chasing after him, you feel like he should be doing better. Oh yes, 1-0. Peter Wilson. Good pullback there from Marcus Lopez, making his debut, of course, as already mentioned. And that was our third shot on target, our 8th shot in total, and the first one to hit the back of the net. Flick on there by Morgan to Lopez. And all he had to do was pull it back into the path of Wilson, left foot through it, right into the top corner. Very good finish, deservedly leading as well. 61% possession, which is now dropped to 59%. Every stat we seem to be dominating at the moment, with the exception of tackles won. Northampton are shading that one 87 to 75%. But apart from that, yeah, everything else we're doing better than, which is good. And if Morgan picks out a good ball here, which he kind of does to Wilson, it's just a shame that Wilson couldn't get his knee over the ball, went over the bar. Apart from that though, it was another good attack. I wouldn't call it hoofball, but it's quite effective when Quintana or even King hits a long ball forward and it ends up getting flicked on and then into the path of the other striker who then goes on to score. And I can see us having to do that again now because Tony has just equalised for Northampton. This was poor. There's a poor challenge there from, I think that's from Villa. Then a first time shot from Tony. Quintana hadn't set himself because he wasn't expecting the mistake. And it's cost us. Northampton are back in the game. We need to do better. We're approaching half time. I'm hoping for a much better second half. I think everyone's hoping for a much better second half. I am planning a sub at half time, just to try and shake things up a little bit and see if we can get a response from the team. See how we go here though. Morgan with the header. That's a really poor weak header there from Morgan. Sorry. Good ball in from Thompson. Just didn't lead to anything, which is a shame. I wish we'd take more of our chances like that. It's only the first shot we've had on target since the goal. And what are we in now? That was 10 minutes ago. So in 10 minutes we've only had one shot on target. I suppose realistically that's a reasonable stat, but for Jeffreys United I think we could have had at least one more. There's another chance. Wilson with a shot, and again straight at the keeper. Not good, guys. We need to do a lot better than that. And the sub that I want to make is becoming ever more needed, I think, to change this match for us. And the player I'm going to change is swap Morgan for Wilson first of all, and then we're going to bring Campbell on and Morgan off. And we'll see how Wilson and Campbell get on up front together. Good to see Campbell back in the team. Tried to loan him out during the window. I can't remember if you guys saw that or not, whether I recorded it or whether I did it off camera, but I did try and loan him out because I didn't think he'd actually get that much game time. But I don't know, the Wilson brothers, both Wilson brothers are doing well at the moment. Keith is in and out of the injury table at the moment, which is a bit unfortunate for him, but as you've seen, Peter Wilson is our second highest goal scorer, and of course Morgan. No one can kick Morgan out the team at the moment. He has the odd bad game, and then he has this matches like today where he's a little bit fatigued at half time. That's mainly the reason why I brought him off. Normally I'd leave him out there because eventually he'd hit a shot that just even the best keeper in the world couldn't keep it out. But in this match I think he needs the rest. Give him this half off. Maybe give him some time off over the week before the next match. So yeah, I felt Campbell was going to miss out a little bit, and a bit like Stevens, I just wanted him to get some game time, but I didn't want to lose him as a player, so I offered him out to loan, and there weren't actually any takers, and I think his wages were part of the reason behind that. So he stayed around, and there's the goal that I needed him to score. That was a very effective counter-attack from, I believe that was a Northampton corner, wasn't it? I think so. It was either a corner or a free kick, but they definitely had the ball up at our end. This ball from Manton to Wilson, and as soon as he played that into Campbell, you could only see one outcome. Wraps his foot round the ball, past the keeper, into the back post. Brilliant finish from Campbell, and that is exactly what we bought him for last season. It's because he can score goals like that. And like I said, I'll only ever loan him out now. I want to keep him for as long as possible. Even if that's all the way up to the Premiership, I'd rather do that and then just loan him out for a month or two whenever we're not actually playing him because the other strikers are fit and scoring. I would rather do that than risk losing him as a player and then one day he comes back and scores against us, because I'd never forgive myself if that happened. Right, Akpa Akpro, one of my all-time favourite named players. I don't know why. From his Tranmere days is where I know him from. It's just a cool sounding name, isn't it? Akpa Akpro. It's like there's another guy I think who plays Tranmere called John Lewis. I can't remember his first name, but I know his surname is John Lewis. I think that's funny as well. I don't know why, I just do. And you know, we got players like Douglas Pringle in our team. That was inspired by a youth player I had on a Football Manager game a couple of years ago. And again, there's just something about that. It's got a little quirkiness to it that I find quite funny. But yeah, I suppose I have a bit of a strange sense of humour. Oh, Lopez hitting the bar. Not a bad effort from the edge of the area. Didn't have much power in it, but it had the placement to beat the keeper. Unfortunately, though, it did hit the bar and come out again, so maybe it wasn't that good placement-wise. There's a very similar one there from Thompson as well, that it was just a little bit too high. Foot lower, and that could have been 3-1. As it happened, it was just a fraction too high, and that's what took it over. And he'll have another effort from here, and this time he forces a corner. There's another good effort, forced a save from the keeper. Did well. Let's see what Villa can do on this corner. Hits it high, and we get another corner. Back post header from Bruce, takes it behind, and we've now got Villa from this side. Bit lower this time, but straight into the keeper's hands. Not a very good corner, that one. I think he could have done a little bit better than that. Bit disappointing. Right, Jones with the throw to McConnor. To Thompson. Laid it off into a channel. Unfortunately, there was nobody there, and then Jones picks up the rebound and blasts it wide. Not a good effort from him. Second sub time. Let's bring Delamond on, and Lopez has had a good debut, but I think he needs the rest now, so we'll take him off. We won't swap Thompson and Delamond, because they should do it themselves in a minute. Good performance from Lopez. I was impressed with him, actually. He set up the goal. The first goal, that is. Played well, didn't really see him put a foot wrong. Comes off with a match rating of 6.8, which is actually one of the highest in the team. Only beaten by Campbell and Wilson. Yeah, only those two are higher than him. And even Morgan was only a 6.6 when he came off, so not a bad debut from Lopez. Look forward to seeing him play in the team a little bit more often in the future. He's our backup left winger, really, in case of Beckhold, in case Beckhold gets injured. That's the reason I signed him, because I think we were lacking in that area. We end up playing players out of position, or players who are better on the right hand side but can also play on the left are then being played on the left, which means they're not as effective down the right hand side, which means the team as a whole isn't as effective down the right hand side, and it costs us overall. So I'm glad that we could bring in a player like that to play down that side, just to make sure that the team dynamic isn't affected too much. Right, Jones with the ball. Exchanges passes with McConnor. I think Jones could have whapped his foot round that, whipped one in. In the end, it just comes out to Thompson, and the inevitable shot over the bar occurs. Which again is a shame, because 10 minutes to go in this game, I wouldn't mind getting that killer goal, that third goal, just to really cement our position. Let's see if bringing on Pugliese will help. We'll bring off Mantum. Bit of a risk, but what's football if you don't take the odd risk now and then? That should be McConnor's ball all night long. It is eventually. It's a good thing that oh no, it's not him that's coming off, is it? It's Mantum. Might have to reconsider that before it's too late. Depends who's more tired, really. At the moment, it's still Mantum, and he's got a worse match rating, and he's probably almost giving away fouls there in the middle of the pitch. Twice he went a little too aggressive for my liking. Luckily, though, the referee didn't see it as anything untoward. Right, Thompson on the ball to Mantum. Villa was making a very, very good overlapping run on that right-hand side, and for some reason neither of them spotted him. That's Delamond with the flick to Campbell. Is he onside? No, he's not. That's a shame, because that could have been that killer goal that I was talking about. Unfortunately, the flag was up instead. Can't complain about that too much, though. Campbell did run a little too early. He could have done with holding back just a tiny bit. But it is good to see him getting in those areas again. And that is something that he brings to the party that none of our other strikers do. It's just that little bit of movement into the channel. Puts defenders off. They're not really sure whether to mark him or to follow the other striker. and that's what made him and Morgan work together so well. Unfortunately for Campbell, Wilson and Morgan also worked together well, which is why Campbell's ended up missing out. But he's still got a good goal return. And you know, even Francois scored 14 goals for us this season. Not in the league though. Most of them have come in. I think most of them have actually come in this competition, JPT. But it's still a good goal return for someone who's made less than 10 starts this season. This is a shame that you can't put more players in your team, because I'd love to have all 4 of them playing up front if I could. And all 5 of them if you count Keith Wilson as well. It's just where do you make room? Who do you sacrifice? It's one of the not so niceties of having a large squad, is who do you drop every week so that somebody else gets the chance. It's not a nice decision to make. I mean, this is just a game. Imagine if you had to do it in real. How would you choose? Who would you choose? You see them in training all week. You might have 2 players who can do the same thing and do it well. Which one do you pick? It's a really, really difficult dilemma. But luckily, the team that I picked today played well, and the performance paid off, and we came away with a nice little 2-1 victory there in the first leg. We will go forward to the FA Cup 5th round against Newcastle, and then the second leg. I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. South final second leg. That's what I was going to say. With our heads held high and our morale nice and high as well, and we'll see if we can come up with the best results. Until then, guys, time to end this episode. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon.